Now, if you're new here, okay, we're going to have some random questions, that of which I will answer with precision. Rastafari.
Chris, my question to you is, what is your opinion on people who
He's
do
impersonating
impressions of
me.
you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, impressions, of course. What was the question?
Is imitation the sincerest form of flattery, or is it disrespectful or offensive that people do impressions of your stupendous voice?
Indeed, yeah. Impersonation is the greatest form of flattery. Even the promoters, they can't stop. You've done 10 different impersonations now of me, 10 different episodes, or 20. Okay, well, it's not funny anymore. Let someone else have a try. If you are against me, then why are you impersonating me? Why are you flattering me? Or are you mocking me? Because if you're mocking me, I should tell you this. You are a reflection of yourself. Whatever you do to me, you're doing to yourself. So if you are mocking me, you will be mocked, as you will see. By the way, I love your impression of me. Keep it going, sonny boy.
I remember watching you as a kid, and after your fights, you always used to give a shout out to Jean in the cafe. Can you tell us a bit more about Jean? And when you visited her cafe after the fight, what did you used to have?
I used to have a full English breakfast. Isn't that something? Wow, Jean. Yeah. You know what? I'm so glad you reminded me of her name. She was fantastic. And the little cafe was fantastic. It was Palmyra Square. Okay, let me tell you how I made the time. I suppose I was defending my title 5 times a year. So I was on TV all the time. So I suppose I had the time to actually talk about something which seems so frivolous. You're always drying out, and you're always, losing weight, and you're always yearning for, those tastes of which, are extraordinary.
So Jean at the cafe got to serve English, a full English. That's great.
Yes, absolutely right. Yeah.
I'd like to know what your favourite ring walk of all time is and why. I'd just like to give my answer, which is your son's recent ring walk against Conor Benn. I think it was sensational. It's just so good.
That ring walk of Junior's was sensational. I'll Overcome, simply the best. And Dre, yeah, extraordinary. When I fought Nigel in 1990, I had the entire country against me, give or take 4 to 5 people. Walking through that crowd was exhilarating. Junior's ring walk is up there. It is, no doubt, it's up there. The way the whole thing came together, and I say this from a spiritual point of view because I was not the director of this, and neither was any of his team or the production. The getting out of the car, the ring walk, the orchestra, extraordinary. Thank you.
If you had to make your own sweets/chocolate brand, what would you make it as, and what would it be called?
It would be called Treats, okay? And if you go back to the 1980s, there was a particular confectionery called Treats. They were all peanut with a dark chocolate coating, and they were extraordinary. I lived on these, I really did. And there wasn't ever enough in the packet. So it had that psychological less is more. And how Roundtree's stopped making them, I do not know. Sorry, M&M's came into play. M&M's have nothing on Treats. I will fight a man for Treats, dreadlocks. Fight! Now, I wouldn't do that. Okay, but I'm saying, they were really something. It's like Snickers. Snickers. Before Snickers, they were called marathons. Marathons and Treats.
Do you think 100 men could take on one gorilla? And how many Chris Eubanks would it take to take on one gorilla?
Well, one Chris Eubank would not would not be thinking to actually take on or attack a gorilla, because I'm not an idiot. Not for strength, but for taking advantage of anything and anyone. No. No, we don't work, sir. We don't work this way. I love animals. They have as much right to be here as I do. Would 100 men be able to beat a gorilla? Well, of course. A gorilla has the strength of maybe 20 men, but not 100. Unfortunately, the cruelty of man, they make weapons, and those weapons are munitions. The reason why, silverbacks are probably the most intelligent of all the animals on Earth is because they're gentle, they're silent, they're intelligent. They're not baboons.
What are some dance moves that you have for us? And I love your vocabulary, by the way.
The dance moves go as follows. Dance as though no one is watching you. You got to dance like you're a madman. That's when you're loved. That's when you inspire other people to dance as though no one's watching. I mean, how many times have you seen a man on the dance floor and he's got no rhythm, but the energy is what ignites your view of him. Well, everyone is drawn to him or her because they don't seem to care. They're just enjoying themselves. This is how you are to live your life. So when you see me dance, I'm like, okay, there's no music playing, but I don't need the music because I know the spirit. And you can feel it coming. It's like, wow, he's feeling something. He's reaching. That's a move that will inspire everybody.
My nephew had his first amateur fight on the weekend. He won by second round stoppage. Have you got any advice on his amateur career moving forward?
My advice for your amateur career, and as far as I'm concerned, you are already a professional because you have to start in the amateurs. But you have to move your mind to the pros, your mind, even though you're still an amateur. This is not something you share on social media. Don't share the times you run in the morning. Do not share your sparring sessions. Build yourself in silence, in secret, okay? And then when you come out, you're not flat. But if you keep on promoting what you're doing, then you're not a boxer. Yeah, you're kind of like you're a wannabe. Wannabes don't make it. If you're serious, build yourself in silence.
How does it feel? Like there was this moment on the podium in front of the orchestra at your son's fight during the walkout where you seemed to just be looking around and drinking in this beautiful moment, and you were being viewed with such adoration and respect from the crowd. They love you. How does it feel after the ups and downs in public perception and all of the drama? How does it feel to be at that moment and to know that we all love you?
Wow. Okay. Wow. I'm very grateful for your feeling of me and my son. I don't even know whether, the avatar can actually comprehend. I see it happening. I know the feeling. I know what the Spirit has enabled me to achieve, but you can never really grasp it. For years, I was telling Junior the other day, I said, I'm going to fast track you with a lot of things. You're going to be going to all of these functions and you're going to be looking for who the superstars are, and it's going to be you, Junior. You're going to be the superstar. And for years and years, I went to all of these functions and I was always the star, not knowing I was. And I don't want you to waste all, these years which are in front of you, as I did, not knowing that, you are adored. I suppose, the way in which society dumbs you down so that, you're kept always like, I'll do the best I can, to give them what they want. I wish I got it the way you get it. I was saying about my brothers who were always beating me up. I found out only a few months ago, I worked it out that it was because I was intelligent. Roasted me all the time, physically beat me up, ignored me. All I had to do was keep my mouth shut and I would have lived a far easier life. However, in me talking all the time and saying, I told you so, crack. Well, all those cracks is what actually built me to be the fighter that I became, the revolutionary that I became. Truth sets you free.
I was looking at the rankings of the same division as Junior, and I saw that there's another son of a former boxing world champion there, Shane Mosley Jr. What would be your thoughts on that fight potentially being made?
The promoters will come up with all sorts of ideas that will suit their pockets. What suits Junior, in my view, no. He doesn't need to do anything else. He'll never better that performance. There's two of us now. There's nothing we can't do. No, don't put it back on the line. In fact, I will use this particular question to try and steer what would be good for us. If you don't get back into the ring, Junior, then neither will I. But if you get back into the ring, then I'm going to fight someone in some exhibition match. I'm putting the pressure on you. You want to see me fight again? Yeah? Okay. Will you take another fight and I'll fight too? Because I'm with you. Rastafari.
If you could speak to your younger self before your first big fight, what would you say to him?
Be confident. Pretend to be confident, more so than what you are pretending. Pretend to the best of your ability. Heighten it. Expand your confidence. No one can see what you're thinking, but everything that you portray will be taken on board by everyone looking in. So make sure you give them a performance of a lifetime. I've been known to be a madman when it comes to entertaining. Oh, he's got this personality and that personality, and he's an eccentric, then he's vicious, but then he's gentle. So, with a personality, you exude it and expand it to the best of your ability. And this is how you become charismatic or box office gold.